So I'm in Moab, Utah once again, and I've been out here a dozen times if I've been out here once. And I'm doing my thing. I'm taking footage, I'm getting drone footage for a video, etc. Now I love this place. And while I was out here this one time, it dawned on me that a lot of people that have never been to Moab should probably know what I'm going to tell you in this video. Now I want you to take a minute to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And hit the little bell next to the subscribe because YouTube likes to shadow ban channels like mine. At any rate, I'm in Utah, I'm doing my thing, and suddenly this happens. The weather changes. And if you want to see what happens when Utah becomes wet, you're going to have to sit back, relax, and check this out. So it's Friday morning, it's the 1st of October. I've been on the road for 90 days and I'm at Lions Hub in Moab once again, drying out the truck because it rained for the third night in a row. The rain started the moment I got there. Within an hour of me arriving in Moab, it started to rain. Now a lot of people have done Moab, but not many have done it when it's wet. It's an entirely different animal. I have seen so many vehicles completely destroyed because they didn't realize what happens when the water meets the red dirt of Moab. Well, on this particular day, I was out gathering footage for a video that I'm compiling on Moab, an insider's guide to Moab, so to speak. But I decided to head down to KANE Creek because I knew the water was running heavy and I wanted to see what was up. And lo and behold, as I crest the hill to the actual creek you have to pass to get to KANE Creek or Chicken Corners or Hoorah Pass, this is what I see. If you can get them to roll. It's only when it's wet, only when it's raining. Yeah, that's the tow truck guy that goes in to save people when they get stuck. Except he's stuck. He doesn't have front or rear lockers, he has no weight in the rear end, and I'm from Boston, and before I even got to KANE Creek, I knew it would be flooded, so he damn well should have known too, but apparently he did not. So after watching a fella in a Jeep Rubicon with a Smitty-built 9,000-pound winch try to pull him out to no avail, the tow truck did not move one crumb. The Jeep, on the other hand, was parked on the mud, which is something you don't do, and he was sliding right into the hole. So finally, after watching these guys have no idea what they were doing, I gave them a blanket to cover the winch cable at least. You know, some sort of semblance of safety. That's him carrying down his hoodie, and then I gave him an actual worn winch blanket after, which still didn't help. Okay, pull. Your slide. He ain't moving, he ain't locked. Now bear in mind, there's an entire dozen vehicles trapped on the other side. They can't get by till he gets out of the way. So I decide to get out of my nice clean truck and throw my 16,500 pound made in the UK red winch into the mix. Now this thing pulls like a freight train, but this guy's stuck in Kane Creek. We ain't pulling him out, but we had to try. And boy did we try. The Jeep backed up onto the dry ground where my truck already was. I threw my winch cable on it, tried to move him a little bit, and that didn't work. He didn't move at all. Not even nothing, zero, zip, not even a rocking motion. So the Jeep Rubicon and myself, we twinned our winch cables together and tried to pull him. We were using all factor 55 Amsteel blue 27,000 pound winch rope, etc. And no love, no nada, zip, zero, zilch. Now it's getting obnoxious. There's a really high chance of damaging one of our vehicles trying to hold them in place while we're trying to pull this guy. And when you try to winch somebody out that's got you tied to their winch cable, you have to coordinate so you're working together. And the kid driving the tow truck wasn't all that great at that. I'll leave it at that. So we tried everything and he's stuck. Now, coincidentally enough, the only tow truck that could possibly pull him out is owned by Rory Irish of MOAB Motorsports. And an hour previous to this, I was with Rory as he got into his truck and headed to Colorado to go pick up his 5-year-old daughter, Lily. So Rory was not around. And this guy was shit out of luck, basically, because that tow truck right there is the only one that had any chance of pulling that truck out of Kane Creek, period. And he wasn't going to be back till the next day. So they had to go with the next best option, which kind of sucked. With people backed up on both sides of Kane Creek, unable to go through or get in or get out, finally a bulldozer showed up. A massive bulldozer. And he was going to hook up to this guy's winch, which was a terrible place to hook up to, and try to pull him out. Nor do I.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
Oh my! Don't overtake your cable, kid. There it is.
Hey, you're overrunning your cable.
So now that his truck is finally out of the way, the bulldozer starts pushing some of the water out of the way, making it a little easier to cross. But it's still slippery, sloppy goop that is known for sucking vehicles down into the abyss to the 7th layer of Dante's Inferno. And that's where this fella just was. That mud hole ate his truck up like a fat kid eats a birthday cake. No two ways about it. But now, of course, after all the guys on the inbound side made their way through, it was my turn to make my way through. And once I make it through this, I'm going to show you what's on the other side of Kane Creek that most people don't know about. It's a place called Hamburger Hill, which will make this look like a walk in the park with no shoes in the mud. But before I do that, I'm going to air down, I'm going to lock my hubs, and I'm going to throw it in 4-wheel low. No need for lockers on this, but if you've got them, use them. So there you go. That's the first obstacle you're going to run into on your way to Kane Creek. And here's the deal. Not a lot of people understand that Kane Creek, not only on its own, when it's rainy out, will eat your truck, or at least test your skills to the max when it's rainy out. But on the other side of Kane Creek, in order to get out, back up on the 191 by Hole in the Rock, you've got to go up Hamburger Hill. Now, if you don't know about Hamburger Hill will break your truck. Hamburger Hill throws buggies, truggies, Jeeps, and Land Cruisers off it like a dog shaking off water. It's no joke. I've done it a few times in my Land Cruiser, and check this out. I'll leave a link if you want to watch the full video below. But check this out. This is what waits for you after you make it through Kane Creek. If you make it through Kane Creek. Now, this was my first time ever. It was in December of 2019, and Kane Creek was really wet. We were driving through rivers, and I had never seen Hamburger Hill at all. And coincidentally, Rory Irish's father is actually the one spotting me through this, and I didn't trust him. My truck's on the edge of a cliff, and he's telling me to drive towards the cliff. It just didn't make sense, but
motherfucker, man.
You're looking good. Come on.
Now, like I said previously, that is Robert Irish. That's Rory Irish's dad spotting me. And I'm at the spot of Hamburger Hill where you literally need to turn your tires off the cliff. So your driver's tire is overhanging the cliff while you're looking down at a crumbled up Jeep at the bottom. And I didn't know Robert all that well, and I had to believe he could get me through this, and he did. But man, there was a couple of times when I got out of the truck and I just refused to cooperate because it defied physics. Hamburger Hill is no joke at all.
Stay that way. Stay that way. You got lots of room. Stay that way. Stay that way. Okay, now follow it around. Come on. Come on. Forward. It'll pull over it. Come on. Straighten it out. Okay, keep coming. Keep coming. There you go. Out.
So the long story short is, before you hit Cane Creek, make sure you're aware of what can happen. Because if Hamburger Hill doesn't take you out, chances are, if it's running wet, the water will absolutely take you out and destroy your vehicle. And while I was there, it did that to several vehicles, including a beautiful GX470. At any rate, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment below, and I will try to return the favor. I am out.